1999, and the whole idea of us to be with children was to learn about learning and learn about children. These were the two objectives we set for ourselves, and we had decided that we would like to learn both about children and about learning from children, rather than learning from loads of books in this world and loads of things. So that's how we started off. And what children taught us in the first few years was mind blowing. It was not at all what the world was doing. It was not at all what we had thought, but it was totally different. And but very commonplace. It was not something very different, but it was something that's not the way the world was looking at both the children and learning. And that obviously initially shook us up, to our pleasant surprise, and then we thoroughly started enjoying it. Um, so we obviously got loads and loads and loads of insights from them, uh, about them and about learning. But I want to share two, which were like two very important ones. The first one was that children like to do what they like to do. Yeah? Now that's a very simple statement. Maybe all of us like to do what we like to do, but it has a very profound implication if we think about it. If we are saying children like to do what they like to do, so we should, in that, if you agree with that, then you say then we should let them do what they like to do. As simple as that, right? um, which is what perhaps even I wanted as a child. Let me do what I want to do, not all of these things that you are telling me to do. But the world has a different idea about education. They think education is what they think we should be doing as children or as learners. Anyways, so this is the first thing that, or rather, one of the most important things we understood about children and learning. And we'll talk about in more detail about this. The second thing we was, which kind of connects with the first one also, is that we realized after being with children for a few years that they have all the resources they need. That's it. They have all the resources they need for whatever, right? By resources, I obviously don't mean physical resources, but they have all the internal resources, the abilities to think, to do, to perform, blah, 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 which they need. Now, obviously, if we say I need this, then there's a difference of opinion. But what they need, they all have the resources. So now, if you put these two together, then we have children who like doing things, um, and we have children who have all the resources to do that, to create their own self, to learn, to explore, to enjoy. Yeah. One simple example, if you are saying what is this guy talking about, is how we all of us included, and all of our children have just learned mother tongue. Nobody taught us, nobody taught our children mother tongue. It was just there in the environment. If there were two languages, they picked up two languages, since you talked about languages, Anjali, and they just pick it up, right? There is no need to teach anything. And they start with some broken words, then single words, then few words stitched together, then few words grammatically kind of dramatically coming together and making all the sense of the world, right? So that's how learning happens in them, or in all of us, actually. Yeah, so that's just one example of how we have all the resources, and if we want to speak a language, we can just go ahead and learn it. In fact, for us, very cutely, both me and my wife did not know Kannada. We were at that time in Bangalore. Both of us did not know in Kannada, but because my daughter was born in a house where there were some people who were speaking Kannada around her, she speaks Kannada right from her birth, right? So she knows one more language than us, right from birth, meaning right from her initial years. So that's the beauty, right? So they are not bound even by what the parents think that is important. What she thought as important, she picked up, right? And since I'm talking about my daughter is now 27, um, married. My son is 21, and both of them have not gone to school. They have not given any 10th or 12th. They've not gone to college. They don't have any degrees. As far as the world is concerned, they're illiterate bunch of people. But obviously, they are thoroughly enjoying their life, doing what they like doing still. So even at this age, they're doing what they like doing, how they want to earn money. They are earning money. They are professionals in their field, and they're living their lives. Yeah. So and not just them, there have been so many thousands of families and children whom we have worked. So formally Arohi was set up around 2008 because we realized there wasn't a space like this, at least the way we could see that all around us, which was available for children to be. So we started in Bangalore, and then we subsequently in 2008 we started in Bangalore. 2013 we shifted in a 5-acre campus, which is about 60 kilometers from Bangalore, but it's in a rural countryside. And we shifted here because we wanted a space where we all can live together. Yeah, children, us, parents, whenever they want to join in, and we all live together and do things which we like doing. And that's what we do. Yeah. And as I said, thousands of families we've worked with, enjoyed with, and still learning. Still, there are children. Right now, there are children in the campus. I'm in the campus. And we are still learning from them what is learning, what is children. But yeah, it's a different world now. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. So that's a little intro, little short, very long introduction. Okay. Meanwhile, we have Vibha who has joined. Vibha, we had a quick round of introduction of Anjali and Sayuja. Would you like to quickly come on mic and video and just say hi to the group? You can just say, I'm assuming your name is Vibha, and how old are your children? If it's for your children that you've joined in, and which city are you from, and what brings you here?
So currently we are in London.
Okay.
Uh, my children, one is 12, one is
Mm.
6.
Okay.
My husband, he's already doing the Aarohi, and
Okay.
we're looking forward to come there and see the campus.
Okay.
The last time when he joined the orientation for Deep, I was not there.
Okay.
So I wanted to just find out more.
Sure.
So that's
Sure.
why I'm here.
Super. Yeah. Thank you. Welcome. Right. Okay, so let me run you through a small presentation, and yeah, and if you have questions, keep them with you, and we will discuss that just after the presentation. I'll try to make it as short as possible, but still give you the kind of details that will help you to understand what according to us is child-based education. Yeah, right. So before I start on what it is, let me first share. Um, who is it for? One category is children who are not enjoying education, much like what Anjali was talking about. When I say education, I mean the conventional study education, who's not enjoying the current conventional education or struggling for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. The reasons don't matter, but so it is for them. It is also for parents who are not happy with conventional education, much like us. We were not happy with the conventional education. So we looked about, and that's how we discovered what the children wanted us to discover. And also, it could be for people who are looking for what is loosely called as homeschooling and unschooling. Yeah. So there are many terms people use. Yeah, some call it homeschooling, unschooling, open learning, open education, free learning, global learning. There are a lot of terms. But what we like most is child based education. Why? Because it puts the child right at the center. Yeah, that's our unwavering belief that it has to be the child at the center, not anything else. No curriculum, no nothing, no parent, no curriculum, no educator. It's the child who at the core of it, because it is the child who is doing the education. It's the child's life. It's not ours. Yeah. So that's the reason we like this term child-based education rather than any other term. And also, it is not limited. Some of these terms are only have the schooling attached to it, as if after schooling everybody by default should go to college. But that's not true. As I was giving example of my children and so many other children, uh, that's not really required, I think, and especially in today's world. We'll talk a little more about it as we go along. Yeah. So when I talk about this way of education, a lot of people ask, hey, so what would be the curriculum? You're talking about child-based education, but yeah, what will they learn? So the answer is very simple. They learn what they want to learn. So the whole thing is built around child's interest, and child today can have 10 interest, and tomorrow can have 15, and the list of 15 can change the next week, next month, next year, and so on. So it's all very dynamic. It's not limited to some subjects because it's open to all the possibilities in this beautiful world. So for all you know, Sayuja, that they could just be playing games whole day, board games, since you design board games. So some of our children just play lots and lots of games and lots of board games. And even I love board games, and every day I play at least one or the other board game. Uh, so they could literally be doing anything. They could be climbing trees, playing football, creating a rocket, baking, could be, going for a trek, uh, doing pottery, whatever they want to do. It's absolutely open, right? And simply because there's complete immersion, because they have decided that this is what I want to do. Yeah, we have all seen that, including for us. When we decide something to do, the immersion is complete, the motivation is inherent, the joy is obvious. So that's the curriculum. So we say the child is the curriculum. The second thing people say, hey, if it is so much freedom, then there is only freedom. How will learning happen? And we say, no, 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 no. You get it all wrong. Okay, there's a lot of structure. There is a lot of planning, but all the structure and all the planning is created by the child. That's the beauty of it. Yes, it is supported by parents. Huge parents play a huge role, and by the community, which means all the other children and all the other adults here in Aarohi or in whichever community you are. But it is something which the child creates the planning. What am I going to do today? How much time I'm going to spend? Which resource I'm going to use, and so on and so forth. So there is a lot of ownership, or rather complete ownership. And as the ownership is there, the driving force is automatically there. Yeah, so there's a lot of structure, but a beautiful, dynamic, evolving structure. It's not same every day. It is not same every year. It keeps changing, keeps evolving. Then people ask us, okay, so how does the learning happens? And we say learning happens in whichever way the child wants to learn. So somebody may want to learn by going to somebody and saying, teach me. It could be a peer, it could be an adult, it could be somebody sitting in Australia. How does it matter in today's world? Or it could be through books or through YouTube. So any which way, so many resources are there, millions of resources. But the most important uh, way that children learn is by doing. Doing takes the biggest pie of the cake, because children, by their very design, they like doing stuff, right? And because they like doing stuff, yeah, that's how they mostly learn, and they enjoy that learning because it's very meaningful for them. It's hands on for them, as they call it. In fact, if we look at our jobs also, we all have said, I'm sure at some point of time, I learned my job by doing the job, at the job. So if most of our most important professional aspects we learned on the job, then it makes sense that we should learn all whatever needs to be learned, that so-called education, by actually doing it. Yeah. So that's how most of the children learn, but it's totally up to them how they want to learn. So it's not like they only learn by doing, they can learn in any which way, from any resource. Then people ask, hey, so what about assessment? And we say, yes, assessment is very important, but it should happen every moment and every day and every week and every month. So children do a lot of self-reflection. We all do as a lot of self-reflection. We track ourselves, we build our portfolios, and we actively seek feedback from whomever we want to seek feedback from. So all of these make into our own assessments, which anyway is what we will do whole of our life. If whole our life we are going to live out of our own assessment of ourselves, our own reflections, then isn't that part that should be the core of education? Then shouldn't that is what we should be doing in all our younger years, so that as we grow older, we automatically do that, and we are able to take whatever the track of our lives in the way we want to take it, because we have learned how to reflect on ourselves, whether it is any kind of thing, whether it's some incident that happening, or whether it's I'm trying to do something, or I'm failing again and again, whatever it is. So it develops us from inside out when we work through our own self reflection and self assessment. Finally, many people say, okay, all of this is fine, but what about earning money, man? You need to get into money making business. And we say, yes, yes, yes. All the options are available uh, to children who are doing child based education. If parents insist, or if they insist, they can go back to a 10th and a 12th, give that and get back into a college degree system, either here or abroad, wherever. Or if they don't want that, then they can continue their journey, which we call it as passion to profession, where they don't go to college, where they actually first find what is it that they are passionate about, and then do it at a professional level by interacting with the world. Yeah, the good news is that the world today, the organizations, companies, clients are very, very open to people who have never gone to school or colleges. They're really, in fact, they're more excited with when they see somebody like that, because then they know this person is operating from inside out. It's not doing it for the sake of getting something. Is doing it because he or she wants it. Yeah. So that's the big deal. The industry is totally open, that most of the top guys of the let's say the IT world and so have gone on public to say, people don't need to go to colleges. People should do things which they like doing. So it's not just a coincidence. It is an evolution of this global economy, which is open, where we can access everybody or anybody, and learn from anybody and everybody. So that's a little about child based education. So what does Aarohi do? Aarohi does exactly this at our campus, where we work with the child's strengths, with the child's capabilities. So each child is very different, and we say, yeah, let's work with this child. And each child, since it's different, there is no need to generalize anything. And the child will obviously help us uh, to work with him or her, right? So the child is leads, and we are the one who follow the child, right? So one option which we do is, I already talked about it, that we have a campus. Briefly, I talked about it. Typically in our campus, 9 to 21 years is the age group that works. So that spans the school and the college age group. Since it's a residential college, if younger children or younger parent child want to come, we do have an option of parent and child coming together once 1 week in a month. So that's the second option. But otherwise, children 9 plus, they come, they live here, and we all kind of learn together. What happens here is that there are, we call it as four stages. Initially, when children are very young, they're hungry for exposure. They want to turn around everything and see what it is. Yeah. So they are hungry for exposure. As they grow older, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, they start getting into exploring things which they like doing. Like Anjali, you mentioned my daughter is very fond of art. So that's now, at this age, she's already knows what she's fond of, and she wants to go exploring that, doing that. As they grow further older, maybe 15, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, they start choosing their fields and start developing their expertise in that field. So that's the expertise development. And once it reaches a certain level, it becomes their enterprise, which could be their own organization, or they may join an organization as an employee, and so on. So that's the professional transition, right? Um, so how does that work? Let me quickly run through what happens at campus. It's similar to what I already shared. The first thing is, every child makes their own personalized dynamic learning plan. The dynamic word is important because it keeps changing. Then the child, with the help of the community, looks for all kinds of resources, projects, people. The whole world is their classroom. So they can go anywhere, find anybody, and learn through anybody, work with anybody. So there's lots of explorations that they do. The children also go out into the real world to look and understand the possibilities in the world. So they interact with the world, do things with the world constantly on on a weekly basis. At least once in a week we go out. So you know, yeah, that's what that's one way to kind of get the children and all of us like to get exposed to what's happening in the world by doing things out in the world. And at the same time, there is a lot of time spent on looking inside me. So there's an inside world, right? The possibilities inside me. How are my emotions? How my intelligence is? How do I lead myself? How do I look at social relationships? And so on and so forth. So there's a lot of work on the inner world as well as the outer world at the same time. Yeah. And finally, I mentioned to you, if they want, they can take the passion to profession journey where they do a lot of work with the industry. They do projects, the industry projects, a lot of them often paid projects. They do internships. Yeah, they do actual work, and through the actual work they develop, they upskill themselves and come up to the level where they are able to professionally match up with whatever is the requirement of the industry. Yeah, so that's the passion to profession part. Now, the same, this, just to clarify, again, children don't necessarily need to do this passion to profession journey. They can go back into the school 10, 12 system, or 10, or just give that exam and get into a college, or they can. So that's how Radhika did it, who is on the slide on the left hand side. She went back to school at 10th, gave 10th and 12th in 3 years, and then got into college. On the right side is Skanda, who chose not to go to any school, so he's now a professional in his field, and you can see him with his mother in this picture, right? Um, One quick thought: if you are interested in your child being at Aarohi campus, then what we offer is a 1 week experience. Come and stay with us for a week, and then you will really understand how this whole child-based education works. At least how it works here at Aarohi. So the whole family comes, and the whole family experiences and stays with us, and we all enjoy together, right? Um, Very quickly, let me also mention we have another option for parents who either don't want to join at Aarohi campus, but who want to still, kind of get the benefit of all the experience and expertise and all the other parents who are doing similar journey. So you can do the same journey from your home and be part of. We have a parents cohort which meets on a almost daily, weekly, multiple times in a week basis online, and that kind of takes us helps you to work with the child, right? So here the Arohi Deep supports you to work with your child. If your child comes to the campus, so sorry, at home you work with the child, we support you. If your child comes to the campus, we work with the child and you support us. So that's how it kind of works, yeah, in either of the two. So this is one option available for people who are either far off, or the children are younger, or they just don't want to come here, which is absolutely fine. All homes are beautiful campuses. The whole world is a beautiful campus. So yeah, and child can thrive anywhere. It's not like that. So I'll right now not go into details of Deep. If anybody has a question, we'll come back to these slides. Both being at the campus and being part of the Deep cohort, at the campus is children. Deep is only for parents. Mind you, we don't have an online program for children. We like to only work hands on with children. So both are minimum 1 year, and then it can go further than that, as many years as you want to be in ROE. We also have a very short, very intensive, very transformative programs for anybody who wants to work with children or understand children. We call it Jagriti, and that's about 11 sessions, so about 6 to 7 weeks program. Um, the whole idea is to open up ourselves to various perspectives with which we can understand children, work with them, make ourselves both effective as well as enjoy the whole journey of living and learning and education. So that's another program that we do. Again, it's for parents. It's an online, but it runs in smaller batches. And yeah, the 67th batch is going on. So that's one thing, that if you're interested in children and learning, basically we are sharing all the perspectives we have gained from being with children. Right, let me end this by by saying the whole idea of child-based education is to work with the inside of the child. And then when the child becomes stronger from inside to the sense of that I have strength in my wings, then I can fly wherever I want to fly. That's the whole idea. We don't have to kind of fix the future or fix things for the child. Not at all. The children, as they become stronger, they can just go about doing whatever they want to do in life. As simple as that. So the focus is always the child, not anything else. The content does not matter. Yeah, the child matters. That is what we work on. Right, let me stop this here. Yeah, and we can all be, yeah. Oh, Preeti is also there. Hi, Preeti. Okay, Manjeet is also there. Hi, Manjeet. Would you like to quickly introduce Preeti? You also, others introduced, if you would like. So we can all be on video and all now chit chat, discuss whatever questions we have, whatever thoughts we have. Preeti, you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Preeti. We are a family from Mumbai. We have been with Aarohi since more than 6 years now. We started our Aarohi journey when our daughter was 7 years old. Now she's 13 years old, and we have been open learning throughout, like from the day she gotten into third grade or something. So, like, yeah, so Aarohi for us has been a great support. We have taken all the support online, to be honest, but we have traveled Aarohi every year. Yeah, that's our introduction.
Okay. Thanks, Preeti. Manjeet, you want to quickly introduce? You can share. Yeah, you already share. You have a 10-year-old who likes hairstyles. Okay. I don't have much hair for that, but anyway, I don't mind styling. uh, yeah,
Uh,
quick introduction
so
with city and also, yeah, just one
I
line.
am
What are you
from
doing?
Manjeet Kaur from Jalandhar, Punjab. Recently joined Aarohi. Joining with attending all the batches. The 60th, 7th
Yeah, the Jagriti program.
Jagriti sessions. Hanji. So very much relaxed. But you are a confusing personality. You confused a lot.
That's my
बहुत
job. That's
confused.
my job.
हाँ दैट्स योर जॉब. बहुत कंफ्यूज होते हैं, थोड़ा स्ट्रेस्ड भी होते हैं, थोड़ा रिलैक्स भी होते हैं कि क्या हो रहा है, कैसे करना है, कैसे नहीं करना है. शी इज गोइंग टू स्कूल. आई एम प्लानिंग फॉर होम स्कूलिंग और यू कैन
Mhm.
से अनस्कूलिंग. बट डोंट नो हाउ टू स्टार्ट, व्हाट टू डू. Nothing. I have no knowledge but learning from you. And one thing, one question I have, it
Sure.
happens today. As I have told you that she is indulged herself into hairstyles
Hmm.
and she spent almost 2 to 3 hours in it.
Sure.
So I was discussing all this with her grandmother, and she was saying, "Your daughter is she is very intelligent. She must be IPS, IAS. ये तो कोई अनपढ़ भी कर लेगा हेयर स्टाइल. Why are you doing?" वो वही करेगी जो तू कराना चाहेगी. तू उसको रॉन्ग डायमेंशन दे रही है. और वो फिर मेरे ऊपर स्ट्रेस आ गया. I don't know how to handle all this.
Yes, Preeti, you want to respond to that? I'm sure
वो वही
Preeti.
करेगी जो वो करना चाहेगी.
Like
Sorry, that
that
is good.
I know. That's why I am guiding. I am providing her everything, all the dummies and all the accessories which she wants. But how to handle this chaos which runs into my mind, into my brain?
So, no,
Sorry,
no.
Ratnesh,
So,
you were sharing something. Yeah.
no, no, I'm saying, again, Preeti is a better person to answer. Because Preeti's daughter also had a grandmother's right there in the house. She's still there. So, Preeti is best situated to answer your question.
And also hairstyling and makeup.
And also hairstyling and makeup and fashion and whatnot.
Yeah. So,
So here I want to say, my both children, they're doing homeschooling. Um, the first one have a socialized language delay where he choose when to talk or who to talk
Sure.
and how much to talk. So when we started this journey, it was completely different. My family was not aligned. My father, my dad, everyone was like having the thoughts, and I was confused because I never seen it.
Mm.
From there, we came the journey that my children starts not schooling because I didn't wanted to have the judgment from outside. I close them everyone and I follow his lead and I'm doing home educations. But now as he's growing, I'm little confused where he's taking the lead. Like, because he's doing this, he's doing this, he's doing this. So to confront myself, like, whatever I did until now, it's right. And that's the reason I wanted to come to the deep with the both
Sure.
children because I know they are in the right path. My instinct telling me, they're telling me, but it's just how the children grow because it's in an outside communications or the people judgments is now more than before because before I used to shut them down because he was young. Now he's growing. I need just little bit handhold that yes, I can give them like my son will give the answer to them without me telling anything.
Yeah. That's
So
the best
that's
thing.
the
That's
reason
the
I want
best
to
thing.
gym.
Why should you answer? Let him answer.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Manjita, I think you got an answer there, right? Why should you answer? Why should you take the worry? Whoever is worried, let them worry. Right. Let the child lead. Let the child lead. Yeah. Yeah. And one more perspective I would like to offer. See, all the, let's say, the grandparents, uncles and aunts, friends and neighbors are all our well wishers. So when they come with a completely tangential perspective, say you are spoiling their lives, I would embrace them. I would say, come, tell me more. Show me, what are you thinking? See, it's not that they are wrong or right, or I am wrong or right, or I am holier than thou, or I know better than you. No, 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 no. They are also thinking of the well-being of the child, and I'm also thinking of the well-being of the child. Let me invite them to the team. If everybody in the team sings the same song, boring. It's like every player playing in like now is football season. Imagine every player playing the same spot. No, but there are different players, right? So in the child's life also, it's good to have different players. Some attackers, some defenders, some goalkeepers, some center forwards. Then the child's life is complete. So embrace, I would say embrace, invite, welcome all the voices, though they may carry a tone which you don't like, carry a sometimes certain things which you may not like. But again, it's not about you at all. It's not about me when parents say, my parents or my whatever relatives say that you are spoiling their life. It's about the child that they are worried about. And good, I'll say, come, let's sit over a cup of tea and talk about it. Let me understand, what are you thinking? And why are you thinking what you think, and so on. I'm just giving you another perspective to this. I enjoy when people say that there is something wrong that you are doing. I say, good, 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 come in, right? I don't want a yes people, I want no people. That will energize me more, that will vitalize me more. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's my thought.
Exactly.
I do have a question. When it comes to homeschooling, like how do you deal with you know, kids being at home, right? So how will they make friends? How will that social interaction
Preeti is in,
happens?
in in that department. Preeti is best person to answer that.
Because like we have been like gone to traditional school, so we are still in contact with friends, and when you make connections, it goes on through life.
Yes, yes.
So how it is
So
done in homeschooling, how it is dealt with.
So Anjali, in one point you just said ki you had made connections and you are still connected with them, with the friends that you made, right? Same way, I'll say that I'm not connected with those people now. Okay, because
Mm.
you made connections, you are connected. I made connections, but now I'm not connected. So we both are different, unique individuals, right? So every child and all of us will make our connections at whichever point, wherever, with whomsoever we want to make, and not worrying about the age group. Okay. So right now, when we traditionally think that socially, what is social circle? So we in a very narrow space, we think a social circle means if my child is 5 year old, then all the 4, 5, 6, 7 years old children are my child's social circle. But is it really so? Is it really that much limited scope for my child to be social with? The whole world is my child's social circle, and wherever my child will go will become my child's social circle. I myself, my child's social circle. All six of us are my child's social circle. My child sits in the car and looks out in the window and sees people and waves to them. That is also a social circle, right? Goes on in the walk for the in the garden, and there he meets all age group people, from uncle aunties to dada dadis to his age group or younger age group. All of them are social circle, depending upon where my child connects and makes friends, and till whichever time he wants to keep that connection, right? That child can drop and keep the connection till the lifelong or whatever, right? So that is how social connection we can define as. Basically, our definition of social connection should widen than we thinking and worrying about their social connections. Does that help?
Yeah, it does. So let's do the
So,
next question which I have. See, like when you're in my thinking is like when you go to school and certain issues comes up, like making friends, the issues with friends, and all the issues with comes with the circle which you have. Like they learn to deal with it. Like if they find something is troubling, they come and tell me, like, no, mama, she did that, she did like that, all those things. So when it,
you think
how
these
will they
people
learn?
don't tell? You don't know how close they become when they are your friend. They are bonded with you, and they are like homeschooling or open learning or whichever learning. It's about the bond. And if you feel that my child won't tell if he's homeschooled or anything, then don't worry. They are your best friends. Matlab, this is what my experience is. I don't know how every situation would be or every individual would be, but experience says that they become your best buddy, they become your best relative in every format. Today only I was telling a friend of mine that my daughter is my husband, she is my daughter, she is my philosopher, she is my coach, and she's everything to me. So that way
And your
I'm
mother.
just sharing. And my mother, of course. Yeah. So, and I'm not joking on this, genuinely. It is genuinely, they come and tell you based on the bond you have. It is not dependent on whether they're going to school or not.
Yeah, I
Right.
want to add one more point. When you said that, see, you went to school, you made some friends, and at schools we have problems and we solve them. Are you trying to say that just because I go to school, I develop social skills like 10 on 10?
Not
Okay.
10 or
So
10,
in
some
fact,
exposure.
I would say just the other way around. In fact, while school gives us a certain space, because the way the school is structured, the school is not even giving emphasis on social development. There is no design in schools to say how do we look at emotions, how do we look at socializing, how do we look at understanding each other relationship. That is not the subject. Subjects are maths, history, geography, physics, chemistry. That is the focus. You have to score there. Whether you are enjoying or not enjoying life on there, that is none of their business. At best they will say, okay, you better do this or you better do that, or they may scold somebody. What I'm trying to come at is, just because a school exists, any school or even a college for that matter, does not mean that we get socially developed there. In fact, more people, I would say, uh, let me put it this way, suffer because there's so much also shaming. Okay, you got 20 out of 20, I got 6 out of 20. Now what do I do with myself? Right, I'm ashamed of myself simply because somebody else seems to be in what matters, let's say mathematics or languages or whatever, science or history or whatever, is scoring more. So I'm just saying the system is actually skewed towards somebody who enjoys that system. If you thrive in that system, score well, do well, great. I'm myself saying, please stay in school, don't come out of the school if you are enjoying school. But that's exactly the point. That does not mean that it suits everybody, right?
Okay.
While in something like a child based education, we can actually see what this child uniquely wants and work with that. So then it's kind of tailor made, or it's kind of fits or built around the child, rather than the child having to forcefully fit into something, and maybe even have a whole terrible education, not in terms of marks, but in terms of what I'm talking about, the whole living and going through it. Yeah.
Mm.
So by default, just because I'm somewhere does not mean that I will learn social skills. Okay, I also see
Rajneesh,
some more
sorry.
hands raised. Yeah.
I thank
Yeah.
you for bringing this up. Thank you so much for bringing this up, because actually I am a live proof of it. Okay. I have recently joined a school as an educator. Okay. And my daughter has also joined school recently to just do 10th, just to do her 10th. She want. Both of us are struggling. Genuinely, both of us are struggling. We both, one of my friends just said, Ki, this doesn't sound like Preeti. I am so underconfident now. I am like struggling with the social emotions, or socially, emotionally, everything in the group of 100 people there. Okay. I am underconfident now at the age of 44, 45. Now I'm feeling so stressed. Okay. And I come here to release my stress. I come to this Saturday meetup to release my stress. Genuinely. So this is the real example that I can share with you. And my
Okay.
daughter is also
Yeah.
going
Sorry.
through
Sorry.
it. So, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. 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 Thanks, Preeti. Okay, more questions. Somebody else wants a different to explore different aspect of child-based education. So one is the social part, but there are many aspects. If you have questions about any other aspect, some people were raising hands. Please go ahead, ask or initiate a discussion, please.
Hey, hi.
Yeah, hi.
Uh, so I just wanted to add some of my thoughts on what I think Manjeet said about her daughter being interested in hairstyling and that being looked down upon by uh, people around, right? The like I recently came upon an ad for a game which teaches math to through hair cutting. So there's like this doll with hair as paper and stuff, and they give you numbers and you cut that hair according to the numbers given. So they are using hairstyling as a tool to teach math. That is one thing. And another, like I've started painting recently, and I can't believe in schools they didn't teach color theory through painting. There is so much physics and so much math in painting that they didn't teach it at all. Be it tailoring, for example, there is so much math, so much strategy in it, and none of this has been taught to us in schools, and we seem to underestimate all of these things that we are doing with our hands, which is actually teaching us the math and the physics and the science in the world. That is one aspect of it. And the second aspect of it is this bias that we have, and that says to us anything that is to do with science or math is good, anything that is to do with fashion or hairstyling or whatever, all of these handwork things is bad, is to be looked down upon. That's a bias that as adults that we are holding, that we are inflicting the same bias into our children also. We are looking down upon a child for doing something that naturally comes to us, and then we are saying no, she should only do science or math or something, only then I will be able to respect her, or people around me will be able to respect her. That's a bias that we are bringing into the child's world, and it's toxic. It's toxic to the child, toxic to ourselves also. And the third thing I also realized is at young ages or at old, whatever age we be in, we learn through exploring, and we take time to explore things. We spend hours on it, we spend years on exploring certain things, and that's how we learn. It is it can't like determine if I will become a hairstylist when I'm 30 years old, as because I as a 6-year-old or a 10-year-old I spent days together hairstyling. Nobody can say. So just because she's exploring that today, just because she's doing that for hours and days, that doesn't mean that is what she's going to become in the future. And to get worried about it today, to get all the anxiety that as parents we get, oh, what is my child going to do? Is she going to become a hairstylist only? Is First of all, that is coming from a place of bias, and second of all, we are adding anxiety to ourselves, saying as if the future of the child is determined by this 6 days phase or a 1 year phase or whatever that phase is, instead of just being loving towards whatever the living of the life. So like, this is her living life, so why are we judging that? Why are we saying, is this the way to go, is that the way to go? Instead, if we indulge it and if we explore various aspects, if hairstyling is what she likes to do, and we go into it and explore through hairstyling what are the other things that we can explore, because as we go deep into anything, we go deep into everything, right? So at the deepest level, everything becomes one, everything connects. So how can we go deeper into whatever it is that we are interested in at that moment of time makes more sense than saying, oh, I'm going to harness my child's curiosity in certain direction, or I'm going to set a structure as to these are the things that she has to learn. That I think as parents we have to like go within ourselves and understand our biases that we are bringing into the world, that we are bringing into everyday life, and that is affecting our children, which makes it as much crucial for parents to do the inner work more than child doing their inner work. And this is something that I'm seeing with my board game, and I'm trying to talk to parents about the board game. Parents are the ones that are saying, oh, it's not part of curriculum, it is coming much like the first game that we have done is called Escape Gravity. It is all about gravity. So parents are saying gravity doesn't come in the curriculum until much later on, or my child is too young to be doing it. But gravity is something, the first moment a child stands up and falls down, they are experiencing gravity. It's something we are experiencing all the time. It's the parents actually saying, no, 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 my child can't do that. There is reading to do, my child can't do that. There is so much things to do in the game, oh, my child can't do that. It's all coming from the parents is what I'm seeing. Children are not saying that. Children are not saying, oh, there's so much to do, I don't want to do. There are 10 things to do at once, I'm not interested. That is not coming from the children. Children are actually excited to do 10 things at a time, to do random things. But it's the parents that are underestimating our own kids, and we underestimate everybody. As adults, we underestimate everybody that is not us. We think because we have age on our side, we know so much, and because they are young, they don't know anything. But that's actually the opposite. They know much more than we do. They are so deep, they can understand abstract concepts. Like even when they are doing random things, to us it might seem random, but they are actually learning such deep epiphanies that they are developing in their own mind, which all goes unrecognized, or they're not validated. So that's just something that I thought that I wanted to share, because
Thank you. Yes, all very valid points, and I hope you keep on telling this point to the whole world. I hope it will do good to lot of children at least. Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. More questions, more thoughts in any aspect of either child-based education, or if you have something very specific to ROE, you can ask that also. Yeah.
Hi, Ratnesh.
Yeah. Hi, Vic.
Hi. It's just I have a question is, I was reading the deep cohort thing. I want to find out how do we help them to lead their interest? Maybe that's something we can learn down the way. How do we And something I was asking Aditi as well the other day, that they start something with their permission, say, okay, we want to do this, and then down the line they lose interest. So,
Yeah, you just said
um,
they want to explore their interests, right? So rather than making a list of how to help them, you should make a list of how not to help, not how to how not to or don'ts. List of what we shouldn't be doing. I think that's more helpful. And one of the things we shouldn't be doing is determining a timeline. Somehow, like like Saija also mentioned, that just because she started doing hairstyling, we start thinking, oh, now she should carry on. I'm not saying Manjeet thinks like that. I'm just saying in general, um,
yeah.
we tend to want
Okay.
the interest to grow. Why? They will do it to whatever extent they want
Yeah.
to do it, just like I will do something for whatever extent I want to do, even at this age. So it's not just
Uh,
about children, it's about all of us. Something catches our attention, you get hooked onto it, and then you will do it till whenever you want to do it. Yeah. If you ask my family members, they think of me the other way around. This guy listens to one song and then keeps listening to that songs for some 39 days, and they get totally bored with me. Why are you playing the same song all the time? So it's the other way around also can be a problem, right? When I stick to one thing too long.
hmm.
So all I'm saying is, dear, everybody is different. And each one is exploring this beautiful world as per their interests, which obviously keeps going up and down here and there. And so what if they start something and then they stop after 10 days, 20 days, 100 days, 1,000 days? So what? My son
Hmm.
started football at 13 and a half, saying, I want to become a pro footballer. He played for 5 years, 365 a day, 365 days in a year. He would only play football. Nothing else, no other thing in his life except for football, right?
Okay.
Because he was an open learner here at Aarohi, he had no need to study any subjects or go to any classes or do any other projects. Only football, 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 football. And then one fine day, we were all having on a Sunday lunch together. He says, I'm leaving football, right?
Okay.
With no red flags before. On one fine day, he says, I'm leaving football. And we said, okay, five
Yeah.
years. Okay. And in 5 minutes, we are saying, okay, go ahead. What do you want to do next? Right? And he says, okay, give me some time. I'll come back to you. And in about 10 days, he comes back with a complete plan of what he wants to do next, which he had
All
thought
right.
through. He thought through what next he wants to do. Right? So I'm saying
Okay.
there is no length of this timeline. Is it 5 years? Is it 5 days? Is it 5 months? How does it matter? Yeah. Everything that they are doing is adding something to them, which we
And
cannot we cannot
yeah.
see, we cannot evaluate, which we cannot put down in words. And
Yeah.
that is the beauty of growing up, of not just growing up as in at that age, at any age. We are constantly learning, constantly adding value to ourselves, and that's
Hmm.
how we keep just going on and on and on and on at any time. There are some people who leave jobs every few years. There's some of my friends like that, and there's some of my friends who are still with the first job. Which one is better? None. Somebody who wants
Hmm.
to do 100 jobs in a life, oh, that's great. And somebody who wants to do just one job in their life, that's also great. So it's a matter of choice rather than a matter of concern. And I think we should learn how to allow the child to explore his interests or her interests the way he or she wants to do that.
Okay. And if they lose interest in something, we just let them be, yeah, like flow with the flow. For example, he does taekwondo martial art. He does it. Sometimes he's not regularly practicing or not doing it in the middle.
Don't even ask
So
me what
then,
all I'm not regularly practicing, right? My list is more terrible than his. So
because
my way of
you
my,
spend
my way of
money,
understanding
resources.
it is little different, Vivek. I always go back to
Yeah.
first myself. I have got 57 years to look back at. Now I'm 58. 57 years to look back and say, hey, how have I been? And I realized that I have all been all of these. You pick up anyone and I have done this way or that way, or left things
Yeah.
or done things, or and so on and so forth. And it doesn't matter. What matters is they are the ones who are leading themselves. That's what really
Hmm.
matters at the end of the day.
Okay. Okay.
For them,
Thank you.
for them. Yeah. So as parents, yeah, we can we can enjoy the change in channels, or we can worry about it. That's a choice that you have.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm. Two things
yeah.
from my
But they
side
will
regarding
invariably do it. Yes, Anjali.
two things from my side regarding this
Yes.
conversation. Manjeet, regarding that hairstyles, right? And the makeup artist, do you? I mean, you must be knowing how much they earn right now. What are their rates, the makeup artist and the hairstylist? So just plus adding a plus point, and it's something which even IT professional what they make. It is much more. And the second point is like to add to that conversation regarding the attention span and everything. My daughter, if I ask her to like study, maximum is 15 minutes. But one day I left her to she said she wanted to make a doll house. So I just okay, fine. I just got the stationaries. She sat down for freaking 4 hours doing a dollhouse with not even looking here and there, not even bathroom break, no hungry, nothing. Just 4 hours continuously without talking to anybody. She just sat there. So I was really surprised. I thought she's like she can't sit at a place for more than 5 minutes. But I was really amazed at her, the dedication she was showing for that art project.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Anjali, in the school, you'll be called an ADHD or
Yeah.
hyperactive or whatever, which I was branded as. All right, and I proudly say I'm an hyperactive child, even at this age of 58, and being hyperactive has really helped me a lot. So what people think is a problem, I'm saying no, please don't squash the hyperactiveness of the hyperactive child. Please let them be hyperactive, because it's a boon, it's not a bane, it's not a problem, it's a
Mhm.
gift. They haven't People haven't thought of it as a gift. Ask me, I am a living example of how an hyperactivity can be a huge boon.
There is,
Exactly.
I
My
think, a
daughter is
quote.
also,
So please
I,
continue.
oh, you continue. My daughter is also very much hyperactive. She also can't sit even for a single minute on a seat. My house is like a jungle. No pillows, no sofa, even sofa. She dragged the sofa and roundabout on it. Dekho, my black flip is okay. Cartwheel, all the physical activities continued. And when I feel that somebody is coming to my house, I have so much stress where they will sit on these sofas every time.
Thank you, Manjit, that is so reassuring.
Sometimes
It's
it's difficult to handle them.
why do you want to handle it? You should enjoy it. You have been given a gift. Start enjoying it.
Yes. Thank you, Ratnesh.
Yeah, Shaujia, you wanted to say something.
Um, yeah, I just wanted to what Vibha's family was saying about changing interests often. That's something I've also always done, and I also see it as a boon. I think I read this quote somewhere. I'm not. It says something to the extent that it is a boon to not know what it is that you want to do in life, because then that gives you the freedom to do 100 things, it to do so many, tried so many different things.
Including
And the
swinging
second
the
thing that
sofas around.
yeah, you never know how this is, how the activity of dragging sofas around is going to help with something else later on. Same with this, if I go, like, let's say I take 10 swimming classes, I never know how those 10 swimming classes will later on be helpful in something else. Think it in terms of like box it up. We say, oh, if I'm doing taekwondo, I have to like focus on that taekwondo and do it for 10 years, 20 years of my life, only then I'll get better at it. And then we box everything separately. But life is not like, doesn't work like that. Everything feeds on each other, right? So when I'm doing 100 things, or
Correct.
when a child is doing 20 different things, all of these things will come together somewhere. Each of these things, there are bits and pieces of learning, bits and pieces of takeaways that child is carrying within, that they may not able to be they might not be able to quantify it, they might not be able to consciously put it in words, but they are carrying all all of these things, and it is important for us to try 100 different things and take that wide variety of learning and wide variety of realization that we get through doing these 100 things, and then they all come together. Or like, even if it doesn't come together from a human perspective, from a human conscious perspective, that we can quantify, that we can convert to money or earning potential or whatever that is we are having in our mind right now, it is all like feeding them, it is all like going into growing that living being. And another thing to like
Like
what
putting
I'm
a
also
kid.
realizing is, we're all thinking about how do I make my child a good earner. I have to raise a child that will go out in the world and earn money, for which he or she has to do certain things continuously again and again, become very good at two or three things, so they can earn money or validation or whatever
Yeah,
that
that's
is.
what
But
I'm
we are
thinking.
yeah, but we are imagining a world we don't know, because if we see, world is
Yeah.
changing so rapidly. What the world was in my grandparents time with versus what the world was in my parents time was different. What world was in my parents time and what world is in my time is so much more different than that difference. And similarly now, I'm a 35-year-old, I can't imagine what, like, I can't even understand what the 16-year-olds are talking. It's beyond us. The world that is going to come, we cannot imagine that. It's a different world. We don't know what is going to get them validation, what is going to earn money, what is money even. None of it we know today. The change is telescoping, in the sense that the rate of change is also so fast that today we have no idea what life is going to be after 10 years. What will give them the edge is something we have zero clue. We can't imagine. That world is going to be a totally different place. So I think, mm, like, going with the flow and just dropping all our ideas and biases that we have, saying this is how the world works, this is how life works, this is how we earn money, this is how society runs, everything is going to change. And like, we want our children to change all of those things if we want a livable world in the first place. So I think if we have to do whatever things that we have been doing, we have to stop doing that and try new things. uh, that's how I'm also perceiving the
Thank you, Sanjay. Right, thank you. I just want to, I've seen Kartika is also joined in. Just want to say a hi to you. Well, it's almost we do these orientations 5 to 6, so it's 6 6. It's kind of time to wind up. Maybe I can take any one last question if anybody has a question. Um, yeah, and then we can close. Just a reminder: we meet every Saturday. So if you have more questions, or if you just want to participate in more discussions, you are most welcome to jump in any of the Saturday. All Saturdays, the same time, 5 to 6. Um, yeah, so maybe we can take one last question if anybody has for today, and then yeah, we can re-meet. Next. If you have anything logistical that you want to know with respect to Aarohi, I'm assuming most of you have Aarohi's official WhatsApp number, which I'm just typing out again in the chat. You can always connect with her with how do I visit, and give me the link and all of that. I can always do that, or somebody will help you out on the WhatsApp. Yeah, anybody with Anjali, if you have a question, Manjeet, Sajaya, yeah, I think Vibha and Vivek have dropped off. Yeah.
I'm good. It was a very eye-opening session.
Mhm.
I'm very happy I joined.
Sure. Thank you. And so thank you everybody. That's been a nice 1 hour we spent together. And thank you, Preeti, as always, for joining in. Thank you, Vibha and Vivek, for joining in. So we are closing for now. Any Saturday, you can jump in if you want to discuss anything. And as I was saying, you can connect one to one if you have logistical questions, and if you want to visit, come over, stay with us. Yeah, that's what we like people to do, to come over, stay with us. We'll all have fun together. We'll all do things together. And yeah, yeah, thank
Thank
you,
you
Excuse
very much.
me.
everybody. Thanks, Preeti. Yeah,
Thank
go ahead, please.
Link for this session remains same every
The
Saturday.
links for link for this session has been the same for last 4 years. So yeah, everything we keep things simple so that we keep things same, right? We don't
And
change
the
much.
face also remains the same. Ratnesh, you will see it.
Yeah, I mean most of
6
the
years,
Saturdays I'm
more than
there
6 years.
to see
I
how we
was
can.
talking about sir with someone who knows sir very well, and she was saying, "Ki, you are in very safe hands. Go ahead. No need to
Safe
worry."
hands. Okay. Sure.
But I
Okay.
enjoyed Sayuja listening to you. Really enjoyed. It was
Yeah,
too
thanks
good.
Aja for joining and sharing, and thanks Vibhab, thanks Manjeet,
Exactly.
thanks
Thank
Aja.
you.
Chalo, bye
Thank
bye. Have a
you.
Thank
nice
you so
weekend.
much.
Thank you so much, guys.